Hi, I'm Biro, and I'm from Moab, Utah, and I'm here in Tours, France, talking about flying parrots. The question is, have I ever lost a parrot? And the answer is yes, I have. In fact, I've lost many parrots. In fact, I don't know anybody that's trained parrots to fly that haven't lost one. Now, the question is, do I lose them and do I find them? And I've been able to find every bird I've ever lost except for one. So yes, I've lost one that was gone permanently. And the reason I put it that way is that many times when we get them back, luck has been a factor. And sometimes luck doesn't work in your favor. Most of the time luck does. When you train a bird to fly outdoors, you are not flying a radio-controlled aircraft. You are actually flying a thinking little creature. He has a brain of his own, and he tends to sometimes do things his way instead of my way. Through good training, we can help coordinate his interest and my interest so that we are sharing a similar experience that goes well for both of us. But sometimes things will interfere that will be beyond our control. I have no way of knowing if a seagull or a hawk or a crow is going to come into the area and spook him in such a way that somehow he gets lost. Now, through proper training, I can minimize his ability to get lost. My birds can fly in some of the craziest places you can think of and find their way back to me pretty much every time. But in the training process, in the learning process, it's pretty much a given that there are going to be mistakes made. And I've made my mistakes, and I think everybody does make those mistakes. And it's a risk that we as people that own parrots and want to fly them outdoors, it's a risk we need to understand and we need to come to terms with as an individual. Every time you fly a bird outside, it's possible you could never get it back. You need to know that, you need to be comfortable with it. Flying a parrot outside is not necessarily a sport or an activity that every parrot owner is going to want to do. There are different kinds of people with different interests, and there's different kinds of birds. And some of those birds will be good for flying, some of them will not. Some people may not be good for flying birds outside. Not everybody wants to climb a giant cliff. Some people find climbing a cliff to be very exciting and very rewarding. Other people say that's crazy, why would you do that? This is not just my perspective as a human, it's also the perspective of the bird we have to consider. Many species of parrot, or many parrots, show a interest in flying. Most parrots naturally want to fly, but as we have them in cages for most of their life, at later points in their life, they may not want to fly because they didn't learn it at the right age. If we're talking about a baby bird, every baby bird wants to fly. That's kind of a given. So it's interesting to note that when I take birds and fly them outdoors, every day they want to fly outside. It doesn't matter if it's in the summertime, it doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the winter and it's only 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside, they still want to go fly outside. It doesn't matter if a hawk 2 hours earlier chased them around the field, they still want to go back outside. To them, flight is a key part of their lives. And yes, there are risks, but there are risks in my life also. I face getting on a highway every day and driving an automobile. There are risks associated with driving a car. I do so because there are benefits associated with driving a car. The same thing is true with flying parrots. Yes, I've lost a parrot, didn't get it back. I made some mistakes, it was my fault. And I learned from those mistakes and I've not repeated them since then. That's the best I can hope to do, is learn from the experiences I have and not repeat them and do a better job of flying them in the future.